Hey everyone. I want to turn us there and normally I turn us there and do normal chit chat and whatnot. Um, Not today. Today's going to be a little bit of a rant. I watched a show last night. The shows where they turn us there and they turn us there and they restore cars and stuff like that. Um, well, this one show called Trucks decided they wanted to buy a 1949 Chevy 3100. Truck looked good. It was a forest green. The only downside to it was the fact that, its suspension was way, 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 way behind the times. It was all leaf spring. There was no shocks, no coils, no nothing. It was just one step above being a buggy that an Amish person would use. So anyway, they do the right thing and they remove out all the all the suspension that pretty much is not there, and they go and turn us there and they're going to update it. That is the only thing they did right. The show, they're doing it basically on a budget, okay? So instead of going to a junkyard to turn around there and find Chevy parts that could possibly fit this pickup, they fabricate Ford body parts to put in the front end, the suspension. Don't. It does not stop there, people. They finally turn us there and they get the suspension done. Then it's time to work on the back. They remove out the old the transmission. They yank out the drive shaft. They remove out the rear end. They do go to the junkyard to get a rear end. Now, I waited until now to turn us there and talk about this, because if I would have talked about it, when I was watching the show, that wouldn't have been nearly as calm. I'd be using language that probably not best for YouTube. They end up buying a rear end out of a Ford Bronco. They get to put another Ford product into a Chevrolet. Instead of finding another Chevy, I'm sure there's plenty out there. Well, they mounted up on there. I'm sitting there thinking, you know, maybe it's not so bad. Yes, it's at least up. The suspension is at least updated. Drivetrain is going to be updated. The transmission probably going to be updated. The engine, who knows? The only thing that they did right, other than change out the suspension, was keep the straight six engine. There was nothing wrong with it. It ran perfectly fine. It needed a little more twerking to make it a little meaner. So they did what they had to. They beefed up the engine. The engine runs fine. I'll just say that. They then start working on the body. I'll remind you, there was absolutely nothing wrong with the body at all. Nothing. For being as old as the truck that is, there was nothing wrong with it. They started messing with the headlights. Instead of them remaining the way they were, they modified the headlights. By this time, okay, you ever get that, that feeling like, your eye is going to start twitching when you start getting really mad and stuff like that? Just by, because something's irritating the holy hell out of you. I was good. Yeah, I was getting a little irritated, but I was good. They modify the headlights. They flare them out instead of leaving them the way they were. But it looked good nonetheless when they were done. This time, they start by this time they start working on the back half of the cab. This is when the irritation gets a little worse. Instead of leaving it alone, they instead change the year model of the truck. It is now becoming a 5-window pickup truck. It is no longer a 1949. Irritation sets in even more. But at the end, it turned out looking good. Now, there's things you can do to a pickup truck that turns there and makes it look really good. You can turn around there, you can change it as much as you want. You can turn around there and change the year model as much as you want. But what they do next sent my eye from going to a simple twitch to going to full on mental. I mean, my eye looked like it was sitting there, it was winking at my wife. She is sitting there laughing at me because my eye is sitting there just. Instead of sandblasting the paint off, no, they get several different paints. They paint over the clear coat, over the original paint, to turn around and sit there and make it look patina. They failed miserably. It looked like garbage. And the person that turns there was doing the painting turns there just, I've been doing this 20 some odd years. I know exactly what I'm doing. No, dude, you really don't. I don't know anything about painting. I know that was wrong. I've seen patina. I've seen people do patina jobs. This looked nothing like it. This looked like 6 different paint jobs, just not done correctly. By then, my eye is gone full mental. Then they come into the interior stage. Now the interior is still, that 4 screen that I was talking about, which is still beautiful. And the guy turns there and says, "Oh God, we got this hideous green in here." He then turns there and starts painting it a god awful rust color red, which is actually supposed to be, which actually is a primer. He then turns there and goes on to, we need to do something with these wood panelings and this, and the freaking paneling, on the roof. Pop it in and check to make sure my door and windows work like they're supposed to. Once I know that, he removes them. And then turns around there and finds this god-awful fabric. It's a Western slash Indian pattern. Stick around and see what you can do about having to contort around door bars to get into your race car. It just starts planting that everywhere. The truck went from beautiful to one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. Ever.
All tacked into place. Now we need to install the floor bars.
They turned it from a manual column shift to an automatic. The only thing they did keep on the inside of the truck was the bench seat. It was brown leather. They put an updated stereo in it, which, everybody does. That's no big deal. I would do it if I was rebuilding a vehicle. That way, I could plug my phone into it and it could charge and, play music at the same time, whatever. Just about here across my back. By regulation, the sidebar needs to be between your shoulder and your elbow. So I already know that this is going to be in the right spot. Between the Native American upholstery, all inside, the nasty paint job, the Ford suspension, and drivetrain. And it's my eye went full mental. I had to stop the show, go outside for a few, let time pass, and then I came back in to finish the rest of the show. So this cut needs to be far enough back that you're going to be able to get in and out of the car without catching your back on it, but down low enough that it's not going to catch on your quarter panel. I was never more irritated in my entire life than I was at that time. Why would you turn around? Trucks, what are you thinking? You destroyed a beautiful pickup truck. All you had to do is a simple thing. The suspension. That was it. Oh, and I forgot one other thing. They turned around there, they took the grill and the bumper, and they went and had them copper plated. And then turned around there and got some kind of cleaner and stuff like that, and aged it to like they do with the Statue of Liberty. That's going to make getting in and out of this thing a heck of a lot easier. That's about as far along as we can go with the roll cage for now until we get started. As I mentioned earlier, we don't have it, but I can give you a hint as to what we're going to be putting in that engine compartment. It starts with an H and ends with an M. Coming up, it's the big Mopar graveyard in the sky. Well, actually, it's in Alabama. I don't know what else to say. The truck was hideous. It lost any value it had. We're on a little bit of a field trip today. That's because we're on the hunt for some odds and ends for a little dark project that we like to call business time. One of the things we're looking for is a pair of... It was the most horrific thing ever. Instead of doing it the easy way and just throwing in a pair of racing. And here I've been going on for 19 minutes and just how irritated I am about what they did to this poor truck. Since we're on the hunt for a few original Mopar pieces, we knew exactly who to call. I've watched them before. They've done some good stuff on a lot of different vehicles. They lost any credibility with me when they did that to this poor pickup truck. The guy who holds the pink slips is some of the coolest cars on the planet is this guy right here, Mr. Ted Stevens. How you doing, man? Good, right? Nice to meet you. Hey, now when they say that you have the largest All right, I guess that is it for today. Leave a like and subscribe if you want. Not necessary, but it does help. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.